Let's jump in. Let's talk about Warriors-Lakers game 2 that happened last night. Really, really interesting game for a number of reasons. In large part, it has to do with the fact that the Warriors just completely blew the doors off of the Lakers in this game. And I think it happened in large part because of the adjustments that the Warriors made from game 1 to game 2. The main one that was just immediate from the jump is obviously JaMychal Green enters the starting lineup. I believe that it's been reported maybe by Draymond Green on his podcast itself that Kevon Looney came down with some sort of like illness before the game and wasn't going to be able to play like a full minute load. And because of that, JaMychal Green ended up being the person to enter the starting lineup after some consultation between Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, etc. The team and Steve Kerr kind of decided together, it felt like. And they wanted that size against Anthony Davis, as well as wanting that shooting ability and ability to space the floor. So that adjustment works really well. It ends up spacing out and stretching out the court for the Lakers defensively in ways that we'll talk about momentarily when we get to what I thought was the most impressive part of the game, which was the Stephen Curry and Draymond Green pick and roll combination. But the other thing that they did was obviously run drastically more Draymond Green on Anthony Davis than in game 1. In game 1, as we kind of talked about, there was a lot of experimentation, it felt like to me, where they were trying to get a feel for how they wanted to play this Lakers team. There were possessions where they used Draymond Green on Jared Vanderbilt as a help defender. There were possessions where they used Kevon Looney on Jared Vanderbilt and Draymond Green on Anthony Davis. There were possessions where they hid Stephen Curry on Jared Vanderbilt in order to get Stephen Curry a blow because of the offensive load that he was carrying. There were a number of things that they did in order to kind of, try and get a feel for the series. It felt like more than anything to me. They eventually get down by double figures. They make a comeback in the fourth quarter. Not quite enough. Lakers take game 1. They get home court advantage at this point now. Fast forward to game 2. You can see this in the numbers according to Second Spectrum. In game 2, Draymond Green defends Anthony Davis on 39 possessions. Kevon Looney defends him on 15 possessions. Anyone else defends him on 9. Kevon Looney in game 1 defended him on 45 of the possessions. Draymond Green 27. All others 8. That comes from Kevin O'Connor, who got those numbers from Second Spectrum. Now, I think that showcases A, that Kevon Looney was probably not feeling well, and then B, the big thing is that they made the adjustment to Draymond Green defensively, and I felt Draymond Green did a good job of shoving Anthony Davis out further away from the basket, essentially. He made Anthony Davis into more of a jump shooter than what he was in game 1. And I think that was a really, really important part of what the Lakers' success was in game 1, all of the paint pressure that they got. And I thought that was a really important part of the Warriors' defensive structure in game 2, being able to get Anthony Davis shoved out a little bit further away from the basket and forcing him to become a little bit more of a jump shooter in this game. Having said that, the biggest adjustment was going like 5-out spread pick and roll for a big part of this game. They dropped 127 points in this game. A lot of the actions they ran for Klay Thompson were awesome. He knocked down a ton of shots off of screens, was super, super impactful. He ends up going 8 for 11 from 3. But to me, the best player on the court was one of Draymond Green or Stephen Curry, depending on how much you rate Draymond Green and the defensive job he did on Anthony Davis. Having said that, Stephen Curry completely orchestrated this game like it was just his. Like, he was the only one, it felt like, whose tempo, who was controlling the tempo of the game. And that's crazy if you think about the fact that he's playing a LeBron team. LeBron is the king of being able to orchestrate the tempo of a game, right? Last night it was Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry goes for 20 points, 12 assists, 3 turnovers, goes 7 of 12 from the field. Not like a crazy Stephen Curry night if you just look at the numbers. But if you watch the tape, what you will see is that Stephen Curry and Draymond Green pick and roll game that we've seen for so many years now, that they have so much synergy in, that they just know like the back of their hand at this point. That's what won this game, I felt like. So let's kind of dive into the tape here. Let's talk about the Stephen Curry and Draymond Green pick and roll game that was so impactful. So here you're going to see Draymond Green come up, set a step-up screen. This is just at the 9:30 mark of the first quarter. So they're going to this early on in this game. They went to it way more late, but early on in this game, they were like, you know what? We think that with this 5-out structure with JaMychal Green in for Kevon Looney, we can put JaMychal in a corner. We obviously have Clay. We obviously have Wiggins. They have to stay attached to all those guys as shooters. We're just going to go spread floor and we're going to go. So here, again, 9:30 mark of the first quarter, Draymond Green sets a step-up screen. We're going to see here, he's just going to roll into the middle of the court, and this is just classic Draymond Green. He's going to see, before he even catches the ball, he knows where the help is coming from. He knows that, I believe that is D'Angelo Russell, has come all the way inside the elbow and help. He knows that LeBron James has come all the way inside the restricted area to help. So this is just him dribbling once and making a read, right? Nobody comes all the way toward him. That's kind of a stunt from D'Angelo Russell in the end of the day. LeBron James just not quite providing the impactful rim protection that he used to in these circumstances. This is one where honestly LeBron needs to do something, frankly. He needs to be the weak side rim protector. We need to be honest that sometimes LeBron's defense at this point is not quite as good as it can be. That needs to be a weak side rotation, and that needs to be LeBron contesting that layup in some regard to Draymond Green. Instead, Draymond Green gets an easy layup here. This one is actually going to be Kevon Looney. I believe this is the only Kevon Looney screen, maybe one more of the 8 clips that we're going to watch here. But again, this is just a high ball screen here, and it's coming in a circumstance where Draymond Green is not on the court. As you can see, weak side, you have Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson. Strong side, you have Moses Moody on the court. This is just a beautiful Anthony Davis is just like split out here because of how high the ball screen is. He has his hand high. You have to when you're facing Stephen Curry because of the shooting ability, and he's just able to split this defense. This is a classic ball screen split scenario. He gets into the middle of the court, and then he crosses back over, stops, and the whole time he's trying to draw both defenders toward him. Here we go. That's the whole goal here. He's trying to draw both defenders toward him. Eventually, they both commit. Anthony Davis leaves his feet. I believe that is Russell that is a little bit too tightly on him, and it just sets up a wide open layup for Kevon Looney. This is just brilliance from Stephen Curry in terms of knowing exactly how to draw both defenders toward him in order to open the lane and force a help from Anthony Davis here, and then to create a wide open layup and a wide open lane for Kevon Looney. So here we go. Stephen Curry coming up again. Early ball screen from Draymond Green. He's going to slip into the empty area of the court. This is just a beautiful empty side ball screen at the 10:59 mark of the third quarter. So this is Draymond Green now. He's driving. That is a good help defensive possession from LeBron there. He forces the miss, but LeBron fouled him, unfortunately, on that play. LeBron not super pleased about that call. I don't know if I am either, to be honest. Here we go. Stephen Curry. This is a little bit more of a stagger opportunity here. This is going to be a really fun little wrinkle because what you create here is you create the potential for a slip action with JaMychal Green going behind the play. You still have Draymond Green as the short roller who can orchestrate and dictate everything. So here we go. Not even a slip action here from JaMychal at the 10:30 mark of the third quarter. He actually makes contact there. And again, Stephen Curry beautifully drawing two defenders here. They decide to put two on the ball here in this scenario. LeBron comes way up. That's Jared Vanderbilt trying to trap essentially. And Steph just throws this beautiful overhand hook pass out right in the shooter's pocket to JaMychal Green. JaMychal Green misses the shot. But this is just beautiful offense, right? This is Steph just completely orchestrating everything. He is dictating the tempo. He's dictating the way defenders are playing him. He is forcing help. He is forcing defenders into uncomfortable scenarios. And he's creating easy offense for his teammates. All of these, by the way, is what you're going to note. They're going to be passes. They're going to be great ball movement scenarios. I didn't grab a single one of Stephen Curry making a shot here. This is all Steph dictating the game through his passing ability, not his scoring ability. On this one here, what you're going to see, this is just a screen here right at the top from Draymond Green, not even all that high up the court. This is just classic Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Pocket pass after Anthony Davis comes out too high. Draymond Green is simply reading at that point that backside low man defender. It's LeBron James in this circumstance. He commits. He makes LeBron commit by jumping so that he can't actually get back out to close out on Andrew Wiggins. He hits the pass out to Wiggins. Wiggins knocks down the corner three. That gets them out 15 points ahead. This is now the 6:50 mark of the third quarter. This is a very high ball screen, which makes it very difficult for Anthony Davis and that is Jared Vanderbilt to be able to kind of close those gaps. That's the advantage of the high ball screen in the Golden State Warriors offense. It's hard to close those gaps. So here, Draymond Green kind of gets his feet tied up with Jared Vanderbilt. Steph just kind of waits at this point for it to happen, recognizing that, again, Draymond Green going to have a 4-on-3 scenario. He's the fourth man. Clay is 1. Andrew Wiggins is 2. And then who is that in the corner? I believe that is JaMychal Green in the corner again. So what we're looking at here is just a very simple read from Draymond Green. As soon as he recognizes that D'Angelo Russell has come up way too high and that he is just way too high in this play as opposed to being low in the corner where Andrew Wiggins is, this is just a simple live dribble whip pass. Wiggins has a wide open baseline because D'Angelo Russell is way too high in the play. And he goes up, draws the foul, gets 2 free throws, makes one of them. Next time down the court, the 6:20 mark of the third quarter. Here we go. And instead of actually taking this high ball screen, Steph is going to reject it. And it's just a little bit too easy. Probably walked there, but because he rejects it and because there's absolutely no contain here, because Jared Vanderbilt treats this as an ice, it looks like, whereas Anthony Davis treats it as more of a hedge. This is just a wide open lane for Stephen Curry to get into. And at that point, he's just waiting for LeBron to make a decision. LeBron makes the decision. He goes to help out onto Steph. JaMychal Green knocks down the 3. Super simple, super easy. Here we go again. Draymond Green, just little, ass first screens. It leads into an actual ball screen there. And again, Steph hits the short roll for Draymond Green. D'Angelo Russell helps over. Anthony Davis helps over. And because honestly, you could have hit either of those guys in the circumstance. That's the funniest thing about this play. Like, look at where Draymond Green is when he catches this. D'Angelo Russell has no idea where Andrew Wiggins is on this play. He has no idea that Andrew Wiggins is cutting baseline here. Anthony Davis is going to have to be the one that commits. Could have just dropped it off to Andrew Wiggins here. Instead, he gets the JaMychal Green baseline cut. Instead, that's an easy bucket. And then finally, here we go again. This is the last Looney one. I'm sorry. Here we go. Steph takes the Looney screen, takes that high dribble. It looked like almost purposely to me. He lost a little bit of control over it in terms of like the functionality of the dribble, but it did seem like he did actually try to do that in order to try and force his man toward him a little bit. Here we go. But instead of hitting the short roll this time, which they've done throughout the game, you're going to see he's going to go cross court after a little exchange between Dante DiVincenzo, and I believe that also might be Wiggins there. There it is again. Rui almost thinks it's like an X out, it looks like. He kind of goes up and like shoves, I believe that's Troy Brown, up to defend Andrew Wiggins. And in that time, he just leaves Dante DiVincenzo wide open in the corner. It's just kind of simple stuff. Like, this was a beautiful Stephen Curry game. He dictated the tempo. He dictated the pace. He dictated everything the Warriors did out on the court against the Los Angeles Lakers last night. I thought it was one of the more impressive games I've seen Stephen Curry play all playoffs, and he only had 20 points and 12 assists. It's not like a supernova game from him necessarily. He just completely dominated the game, and he dominated it with Draymond Green. All of those plays, except for 2 of them, involved Draymond Green as the short roller. As you noticed, Stephen Curry did not get credit for an assist on, probably, a third of them. A lot of them were hockey assists, led to Draymond Green kickouts. Just really, really sharp offense, I thought, to spread it out, take advantage of the floor spacing that you have by having JaMychal Green in the offense, and then going from there.